Hey everybody, and welcome back. It's just a rainy Sunday evening here. Um, and I just felt like I wanted to share a little bit of life and real life as a veterinary professional with y'all this evening. And just share a little bit of warmth and happiness in the midst of what has been a very difficult week for me. And I've got my little Tazo chai tea to enjoy since it's nice and chilly outside and just kind of wet and dreary. I thought it might be nice to have some hot tea and just kind of chat with y'all about the realities of what it is to be a veterinary professional. Like I said, this week has been a challenge for me in that I came back from my first vacation as an adult and had to get back into the swing of things. And it was a little bit harder than I thought, just getting back into the swing of things. But there were a couple of opportunities that are situations that presented themselves that were a little bit more challenging than I had anticipated. For one, I had to help with 2 euthanasias this week, and those are always hard, and I always feel for the families, and both families were very sad and just very upset, and one was a little bit harder than the other because children were involved, and it was just one of those things that really got to me, and really made me realize how blessed I was in a weird way to be able to be there for those families during that time. The first one, they were both adults, and they were just sad to see this baby go. But both families, we usually like to provide little snacks that maybe the animals can't have at a normal time during their lives, and because we were out of what we typically provide them with, as far as snacks were concerned. I kind of had to improvise, and improvise meant providing some pork rinds for these babies, and they went over very well with both patients, so the families tell me. So that brought a little bit of cheer and joy to them during those challenging times. But like I said, one of them, there were kids involved, and one of the children couldn't have known life without this animal, just based on my rough estimation on the child's age and the animal's age. So it was very challenging, and I don't know that they understood 100% what was happening, and they got really upset, got me upset, and just seeing the hurt, particularly within that family, was rough. But after they had some family time and had some time to compose themselves, like I came back in their room, and I was getting the baby to get it prepared for them to take home for burial, and this child looks at me and says, "Thank you for taking care of my dog." And all I could say was, "You're welcome, sweetie." It broke my heart. But I know in both cases it was the best absolute situation for those animals. And I have full confidence in that, but just having a child respond to you in that way, and realizing what we do, and it really got to me. I was able to keep myself composed for the rest of my shift, but when I got off and just had time to stop and relive the situation, I was in tears, and I couldn't stop. That's just one of the realities of veterinary medicine, and it's not always kitty cats and puppies and kisses and unicorns and rainbows. It's the hard stuff, and it's being there to help those families make those hard decisions and providing the best guidance you can for them in those situations, and being there for them, and reminding yourself that you're doing this because you love animals, and that this isn't always the case, that there are times where you get to love on puppies and kitties and that sort of thing. But it was just one of those moments where I realized how hard this job can be. Not that I didn't already know that, not that I didn't already help with euthanasia of other people's animals, not that I hadn't already had to let go and say goodbye with animals of my own. But it really got to me, and just felt the need to express what I was feeling and what I was going through. I know I'm not alone, and just wanted to share that story because I just felt like somebody needed to hear that. If you're in veterinary medicine and you're struggling right now, there are people out there that see what we do and that know that we do what we do because we love the animals. And to have a child see that was absolutely incredible. And my heart breaks that they had to learn life lessons at that age. But that child has a heart of gold. I don't know what else to say. But it's just been a weird week. It's been a weird couple of months. It's been a weird past year. I mean, come on, we're nearly a year into this virus, and it doesn't want to seem to let go. And there's days that are much easier, much harder than others. And it's at least where I'm at, it's been nothing but cold and rainy and yucky here lately, and that's just very depressing to see and to have to process and go through, and still have the get up and go to go do. And I'm struggling to find that motivation some days, struggling to find the motivation to get up and go to work, struggling to find the motivation to get up and do the chores that I know I need to do. I did have a very productive day, one day earlier this week or the end of last week, and felt like I was a little bit more productive this evening as well. I did the big girl thing and did my taxes. But so that's one thing off my checklist. Got a load of laundry going because I need clean scrubs for tomorrow morning. It's sometimes it's the little things. Sometimes it's knowing when you need to take an opportunity to stop and rest and have a hot beverage like sweet tea, or chai tea in my case, and just appreciating the blessings in life, and realizing that even in those hard times that you can find beauty when you stop and look. But I just wanted to get on and have a little bit of confession, a little bit of sharing of the things that have been going on in my heart and my mind, particularly over these last 24 hours, because it's been weird, and I don't know. Yesterday just kind of really got to me a little bit, in a good way and a bad way, I guess. I'm not sure what else to say, but that's just to look at what the backside of veterinary professional life looks like. It's a look at my heart and my outlook on things. I hope it's how other people feel. I hope it's how those families. I hope those families could feel my heart and my compassion for them. And I wish them the peace of mind that they did. They gave those animals the best gift that they could in those situations. And my heart just aches for them. I don't know how else to say it, and I've been struggling to get over it. So I'll have to remind myself why I do what I do, and I'll have to find the heart and the motivation to start a new week. I have been doing my best to be positive in situations. Sometimes it's been really hard. This week was a rough one. And when things are going wrong left and right, it's very hard to stay positive. But that's been one of my goals here lately, is to be more positive, to try to retrain my mentality when a difficult circumstances arises, to see it not like it is necessarily, but to see it for what the opportunities that it provides, the opportunities of what it could be, and to just kind of change my thoughts toward situations. Not that I have to get up and be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning, but that I get to get up and I get to go to a job where I get to help animals, which is something I love, that I get to not be unemployed in the midst of a global pandemic, that I get to have an income, that I get to have the opportunity to create a savings account and save up for big purchases, that I have that security and that blessing in my life. It's hard to remember those things sometimes, and for somebody that is not an early morning person, having that mentality of I get to versus I have to can be kind of hard when the sun's not shining first thing in the morning when I am scheduled to get up, and when it's rainy, and when it's yucky, and when I've had to close the night before and didn't get to eat dinner till 9 o'clock at night, and don't get home with time to have more than 12 hours between when I get off work and when I have to when it's time to go back. See, I caught myself there, not have to when it's time, when I get to go back and start the day over again and do it all again, and to meet new people, to help new animals, to make new friends. That was one thing I kept reminding myself yesterday. Even in the midst of that challenging day, I had the absolute blessing of making a new friend with one dog in particular that the owners were very concerned about how this dog typically reacts to strangers, and that treat word is a magic one. All I had to say was, "Do you want a treat?" Gave that baby a treat, and we were BFFs. The rest of the time, that dog did not respond in an ugly way when we did the exam. That dog did not respond in an ugly way when we were trimming the toenails. Absolute angel. Maybe a little bit of a treat hog, because we kept mooching for more treats every time I would come back into the room or anything like that. But I'm so blessed to have made a new friend, particularly with an animal that the owners were concerned about. the way this dog reacts to strangers. That was such a blessing, and I'm glad that they got to see that and got to see how well this dog responded to somebody that it didn't know. I feel like that was a blessing for them, and I'm so glad that I got that opportunity. I couldn't say enough things about that dog, and how nice it was back to the owner, and how well it behaved. Such a blessing. So see, even in the midst of what was one of the hardest days in my veterinary career thus far, I had that bright light, that blessing to provide me with something good, and something good in a good way, versus something that was good that came out of a bad situation, as was the case with the euthanasia. But I just wanted to share my thoughts and my heart with y'all, and I hope that y'all are doing great. And what are some things that you do? What are some things that provide you with joy in the midst of struggles and hard times? Leave those in the comments below. If you're in veterinary medicine, what are some of your vet tech or veterinary professional confessions? What are some things that you struggle with? What are some things that you've gone through recently? Please feel free to share those down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And like I said, I'm so grateful to y'all for taking the opportunity to listen, and to just take this journey with me, and to know that while I am so grateful to be the person that I am, to have the job that I do, to do the things that I do, it's not always easy. And as somebody that's kind of always been a little more tender-hearted anyway, it gets rough when children are involved. A little bit of background on me before I do what I do now. I did childcare in various forms and ways, so having that added level of things made that much harder. I don't have children of my own. I do have nephews, but not that not having children of my own doesn't allow me to not feel for children. I've always felt really close to the children that I've had the opportunity to care for, and to see a child have to struggle with a real life situation, like saying goodbye to this animal that they had to have known their whole life, was rough. But to have them see that what I was doing was for this animal's good, and for them to see that I cared so deeply, was amazing. And I'm so thankful for that. But it hurts. It still hurts a day later. My heart goes out to that child. They are precious. But I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my evening. I hope y'all do too, and I look forward to hearing more from y'all, and I look forward to sharing more with y'all in the coming days and months. And I have really enjoyed being a little bit more active on here, and I want to try to be even more active on here, but hope y'all have a good evening. Bye.